So what we want to do tracking it, and I'm right at the end here, I'm just going to go through a couple of slides. We want to send 5% of it out static. I try to get people to send 5% out with variable text and no variable graphics, no pictures, because sometimes that's enough. And then 5% out that's full variable. Now how do you do that? You don't need to know that. They figure it out. They assign a random number and then they write a rule statement that says dear customer or dear whatever that the static would be for the people that are in the first 5% randomly. And then the second 5 and the third 5, and then they can make a comparison for you. But you send it out in these 3 groups, and this whole 85 would be the variable, this full variable. But then you can find out what made a difference. Okay? This was one that we had a real one where this was real numbers on a real job. It was 10,000. 5% is what we had that we did on the different samples. So 5% of 10,000 would be 500. So we got 8 responses back out of 500. That's a 1.6% response. In the variable text only, we got 22 back out of 500, and that would be a 4.4% response rate, or an increase of 2.2. That increase of 2.2 is more than double what you had. If you added variable data, you got twice as many people taking advantage of your offer. Would it be worth it if it cost 50% more for the printing? Most people it would be. You get twice as much results and it's 50% more cost. When they went to the full variable right here, they got 24 responses out of the 500. It only increased it to 4.8, 3.2 over the original one. So in this one, I would be doing this one, because it costs more to get the photographs, to get all these extra photographs right, and it wasn't giving enough of a list. So this is lift, that's what I would be doing. So you have that control group to make the comparison about what you're doing. Without knowing the value of a response though, you know, I asked you a question, would it be, you're in your head thinking about what's the value of getting a new member, of doing this or doing that, because you know what your response is, that's going to work. But if I don't know what the value of the response is, this stuff is meaningless. You have to know what it is. So again, it starts with data. You have to lay it, program out to accept it, use rule statements to try to get it to work with the different people. This is not stuff that you end up doing. This is stuff that the printer does for you. But you have to understand that you have to help them brainstorm. You understand your customer better than they ever could. You've got to figure out what's going to make a difference to them and how's it going to work, and then they figure out how to translate it.